So what do I think of this situation with WizardLiz? I want to preface this by saying I didn't even know who this was until this comment, really. I was seeing a few videos mentioning it, but I'm like, I don't know who this is. It has nothing to do with me, so I kept scrolling. Number one, I've been down so many rabbit holes. I honestly don't even know if this is a real person. I don't know if this is a story that was just put out there for views or, attention, things like that. I do not know. But from a manifestation perspective, if this is a real person and this is a real situation that they are going through, we can talk about that from just the angle of the storyline. To my knowledge, on the little mini deep dive that I went to even find out who this person was, I saw that they are an influencer with self-help kind of manifestation shit like that. Okay, cool. So that's probably why y'all are interested in this situation occurring from the manifestation perspective. And just by looking at posts from this individual, what I saw was very interesting. So I don't know when this whole situation went down in the 3D, so to speak, but I did notice that there is a post from May 16th. Right now it's May 29th, I think, so maybe a little over a week ago, where she says, pranking my husband by calling him my current husband. Oh, I've seen that trend, okay? And for me, just coming from the manifestation perspective, I've always been curious as to why individuals, especially if they know about manifestation, would even make jokes like that about anything that's going on in their life, whether it's their health, their relationship, their looks, their career, their money. Like, if you're making detrimental jokes from a certain angle, it can be, oh yeah, but I'm just joking. But your subconscious mind does not know the difference between a joke or something that you really mean. It's just accepting as true everything. And being that this is one of the most recent posts from WizardLiz, and then that situation happened like a week later, I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. Your current husband. Now, from what I'm seeing is, they're no longer together. So kind of fits with the whole manifestation angle if your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and make-believe. So a few other things that I noticed from manifestation perspective, just only going by social media. Again, I don't know anything about these people in real life. Since y'all asked, we have another post that was made on February 13th, and it's a picture of Snooki and some guy. I don't know who it is. I know I've seen him in movies, but I'm not really into comedy, so I have no idea who he is. But basically, it's like a scroll. It's it says me, and then my nerd, and it's Snooki and this guy. No clue who that even is. And then you swipe, and then it's her and her husband. With specific people, okay, especially someone who is a partner, someone who you want to be with, for you to have jokes on them. Maybe you have internal jokes, like you guys have these nicknames for each other. Oh, that's my nerd, or that's my whatever the fuck it is, right? But still, I'm just questioning. Do you really believe that your husband is a nerd? Do you really think that maybe you're too good for him? Because it is a possibility if you're thinking that someone is a nerd. To me, that was always like a derogatory name, whether it's said as a joke or whether you really mean it. So to have a post like that on social media, it's kind of like, so how do you really view this person? Again, it could have been said just for views or likes or whatever, just for funsies, but still, the subconscious doesn't know what is a joke and what you really mean. Another post that I saw here from February 5th, it's her and she's, I don't know, dancing around or something. It says, no revenge because anything bad that has ever happened to me led to the happiest version of myself. All right, let's go with that. So I don't know if this is something where you're kind of expecting bad things to happen, because for someone to even be speaking about revenge and things like that, it kind of shows what headspace they're in my opinion, because there is no revenge, because there is no right, there is no wrong, there's just you. So if everything bad that has happened to you has led you to a better version, then hopefully the situation plays out the same way, if that's the mentality that you have. But at the same time, why would you even make a comment like that? Like, why would you even make a post talking about bad things happening to you? And I get it, to an extent, it's to inspire people, but still, what you focus on grows. So why are you even saying that? That's just my opinion. Next post here, this is from January 20th, and it says, rather be talked about than be the one talking. So again, I don't know if this is something where it's kind of like a social media thing, and this situation played out. Yes, now people are talking about you, so it is a successful manifestation if you want to look at it like that. So again, evidence of more manifestations, people talking about this situation, maybe not in the way that you would want, unless you do want that, but it's interesting to say the least. We have a post from 2024, December 9th. Anyone can switch up on you at any time. Take care of yourself. All right. So again, I don't know if this post was just attention grabbing or whatever the case. Okay, maybe it's something random you decide to post just to fill the feed, but anyone can switch up at you at any time. If that's what you're thinking, then that is kind of what played out in this situation now. And those are only a few of the posts, but those are the ones that I chose to talk about because they are successful manifestations for this case in point. But the narrative that you're spinning, if you're saying that you're into manifestation, whoever it is, okay, it could be anyone. It could be, another manifestation person. It doesn't necessarily have to be her, but anyone. If you're into manifestation, you're calling your husband, your current husband, knowing the way the law works, that to me doesn't make sense. You are calling your husband a nerd. So do you think that you're too good for your husband? And then maybe that's why that situation played out, where he's like, okay, maybe she is too good for me. Maybe I need to find someone more on my level. And that's why that whole Snapchat situation happened. Okay, because again, it's all your beliefs. The whole revenge thing, the whole anyone can switch up at you at any time. To me, that coming from a manifestation standpoint, you're creating that. There is no escape from you creating that. Whether you're saying it as a joke, whether you're saying it just for views, whether you're saying it in real life, whether you're really thinking that, that's your energy. You put that out there, whoever the fuck it is. So if someone knows about the law and they believe in the law and they see evidence of the law and they know how it works and they have a following talking about this stuff, to me, I would just assume that they wouldn't be putting things like that out there, being derogatory, joking about their partner. If they really truly love their SP, yes, I do say that the motherfucker don't matter. The SP doesn't matter in terms of what are they doing, what are they thinking? No, because they're doing and thinking what you're assuming that they do and think, but they do matter in terms of that's your partner. You love them and you're gonna call them a nerd. Like, I don't know, to me, and this is just my personal belief, yes, it is a belief, I'm not going to call a friend, a partner, a family member, someone that I care about, I'm not going to put derogatory things online. I'm not going to say derogatory things about them to them or to anyone else, because I understand how the law works. So if someone is saying, oh, this is my current husband, even if it's just a joke because that was a trending thing, I still don't understand that, because you know the way the law works and you know that it takes everything that you say quite literally, which in this case, it looks like it kind of did. For someone to be calling their husband husband a nerd, putting it out there. Maybe it's a running joke. I don't know the dynamic if that even is a real situation, but self-concept, okay? So how do you feel about yourself? Do you think that you're super amazing? And yes, everyone fucking should think that they're super amazing, but if you start thinking that you're better than your partner, that in manifestation is still going to push them away, because you're saying, I'm too good for them, I deserve better, and all of this stuff. So then they are receiving that telepathically through thought transmission, and they are going to start acting accordingly. I can never satisfy this person. They're too good for me. Oh, they think I'm a nerd, right? So then what are they going to do? They're likely going to do something that you don't like, because you already have a perception of them that, oh, this relationship is not going to last. This is the current partner. Oh, they're a nerd, blah, 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 right? The revenge thing. I'm not sure, listen, you can manifest revenge, and if that's something that you want, that's something that you want. But just to be in there saying that, no revenge because you've gotten stronger from all the bad situations, that's still putting focus on the bad situations where you would perceive that you want to revenge from. Do you see what I'm saying? Where you can just wipe the slate clean and say everything has always been perfect. And if you do have trauma or something that occurred, yes, your feelings are valid, your emotions are valid, that from that standpoint of something occurred in your experience. But if you're choosing to carry it with you and even make jokes about it, you don't need to get revenge because the bad things help make you stronger, then yeah, this kind of plays into that. Another bad thing, if you want to look at it from that perspective, then that too is going to come into fruition from your belief system, saying that this bad thing too is going to make you stronger. So okay, that's successful as well. Anyone can switch up at you at any time. I really am very confused and curious why someone who knows about the law would post this, unless it was just done for attention. But still, if you're just posting something to get likes and views, yes, this is social media. There's nothing wrong with that. If you get bank off of it, power to you. Okay, post what you want. But from the manifestation perspective, if someone is saying that anyone can switch up at any time, I'm just gonna go with the assumption that you might believe that. Okay, so if someone in the manifestation community is saying anyone can switch up, yeah, because maybe you switched up. Actually, not maybe, because you switched up. So you started thinking differently about them, which transferred those thoughts and beliefs to them. So now they did switch up because you had the assumption that they were going to switch up. Do you see what I'm saying? So it could be, a whole multitude of things. You can be very empowered and strong-willed and know that you're the shit, and you're content with that. The specific person, the husband, the wife, the partner, whoever it is, they don't matter in terms of what are they thinking, how are they feeling, because you're the one that is creating all of that for them. But in my opinion, if there's someone in your life that you care about, especially if it's a partner, and there's these jokes online about them, I have never understood that, especially when I see videos of like a husband and wife pranking each other with cheating. I'm like, really? And whatever, they could be into manifestation or not, but everyone is always manifesting, whether they're aware of it or they aren't. So I just find that very interesting when people say that, so what you're doing is you're putting that story out there that your partner could cheat on you, and it's funny. Okay, I don't know, that's just something to think about, in my opinion, for anyone. Okay, even if you're joking around saying that your dating life has always been shit, that these types of individuals always show up for you, even though you're joking around, you think that it's not serious with your friends, your subconscious mind is recording fucking everything, and it's taking notes. So you're like, whatever the fuck you're saying, the partner's a nerd, this is the current partner, the dating life has always been shit. Subconscious mind's like, oh yeah, you keep saying that over and over again, this shit is gonna manifest. I took like 5 minutes. Okay, I was like, let me see what's going on here. So I don't know the full story. Like I said, I don't know if they're real people. I don't know if this story really happened, but I can tell you, just looking just for a little back story on it, I can see putting the pieces together, like, okay, yes, this would likely happen. And also the fact that, okay, so she found this thing on Snapchat. It kind of reminded me of another narrative that was out there with Tommy Lee and Brittany Ferlin. Again, don't know anything. I don't even know if those are real people, but there was a similar situation where she got catfished by some dude on Snapchat. So I'm like, this kind of reminded me of that. But again, I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not true. I don't know if they're real people. If they are real people, are they just putting this out there for trending traction or whatever? Like, I don't know. So there's no judgment on any of these situations, but strictly from the manifestation perspective, what I'm seeing, the shit that I just read to you, it makes sense why something like this would occur. Because if you're calling someone your current partner, if you're making jokes about them, then you might think that you're too good for them, and then they are going to likely look elsewhere. Or if you think that relationships don't last, then yeah, that can potentially happen. And to add another dramatic flair, which in my opinion, it kind of sounds like a Lifetime movie. And believe you me, I've watched a handful of Lifetime movies, and it's something like getting stalked by the neighbor, making my professor come, like whatever the fuck chaos they have going on. Okay, it's not just about things in your personal experience, right? Like, let's say you had an ex that cheated on you when you were 15, and then you carried that with you, right? Yes, that can shape your belief systems. I'm not saying it can't, but also societal programs, okay? And to me, that sounds like a Lifetime movie. So someone is pregnant, just found out that the husband was corresponding with someone on Snapchat, okay? It sounds like a Lifetime movie. Are there perceptions that maybe you've got from society, like such as all women are gold diggers, all men cheat, or whatever, right? Like, and that of course is not true, but if it's a societal program, yes, that can affect your relationships as well, even if you are not thinking that it's personal to you, even if it's something that you joke about. The story could have came from anywhere, right? Because now that's just like an added dramatic effect to it. And if someone thinks that relationships have to be dramatic, if relationships don't work out, if there has to be some sort of a crazy scenario that plays out, then yes, that's how it's going to play out for the individual. But at the same time, it's like knowing about the law. What I can tell you is that a societal belief system, whether it's in movies, TVs, books, whatever, I don't give a fuck, because it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with you unless you accept it as true. Anything that happened in your past, if you had a shit relationship in the past, or if you watched your older brother or older sister go through dramatic relationships, if your caregivers gave you dramatic upbringing, okay? I'm not saying your feelings aren't valid, but that doesn't mean that shit has to play out again. Whoever this is resonating with, if you're still here, I mean, you're the real MVP because it's a long ass video, but if you're still here, don't think that societal programs are going to affect you, okay? Movies, TV, whatever, unless you agree to it. Don't think that your past or things that you have witnessed can affect you. If those are things that you don't agree with, they cannot. But also be mindful of the jokes that you're saying about your partner, about your friends, about your family, about your health, about, even your past, okay? Because remember, the only moment in time is now. So if you're saying that your relationships have always been shitty, and maybe that was 5 years ago, you're bringing that shit full frontal right now. So stop that, okay? And also with the self-concept, if you have a spouse, a partner, whoever it is, okay, and you love this person and you want to be with them, them, dogging them, or you thinking you're too good for them, they're still going to pick that up. So yes, no one is better than you in your reality. You're the only thinker, you're the only observer, but be mindful. If you really do have a high self-concept and you're with your partner, you also know that you are contributing to the relationship, whether it's they just get to be seen with me, okay? But you know all of your amazing characteristics and qualities that you have, and you know what you're offering to them as well. So it's like an even exchange. It's not where you're deliberately placing them beneath you. You can say they worship the ground that I walk on because I'm irreplaceable, and they know that I'm the best thing that's ever happened to them, and we have a mutual rapport where we're both in love with each other. That would be ideal, especially if your self-concept is where you're like, yeah, I'm the shit. But even in relationships, it can be tricky, because if you're saying I'm too good for this motherfucker, then yeah, they're still gonna pick that up, and a situation that you don't like might play out, okay? The same thing if you need to work on your self-concept, and you know, everyone is different, but if you feel like you're unworthy of having such an amazing partner, you would still want to focus on your good qualities and say, I have all of these great attributes for me to share with someone and to bring joy into their life. So of course they would want to be with me. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the way that you look at things. You know about the law, okay? Stop joking around and thinking that it doesn't mean anything. Don't belittle your partner. Don't make jokes about your partner. I mean, you can, but still, like, dude, subconscious mind is always listening. My suggestion is, in any area of your life, do you want this to play out in the 3D? If yes, continue thinking about it, continue joking about it, continue talking about it, okay? Keep reliving those scenarios. But if you don't want that to play out in the 3D, stop that. Change the fucking narrative and stop saying that motherfuckers are out to get you. Stop making jokes at your expense or your partner's expense. Stop looking at the past as a prediction for the future. Start living your life and talking to yourself in your mind as though everything that you want to be true right now is true right now, because it is, but you need to be tapped into it.